So we can do Gurudeva Bado Kripa Kori. This is on page 33. And finish in about 5 minutes.
You can take your time, it's okay.
Okay. Gurudev Bado Kripa Kori, Vana Manje, Godrume Deya Chustai. Gurudev Bado Kripa Kori, Vana Manje, Godrume Deya Chustai. Agna
Thank you so much, Krishna Priya. Dhanavat pranams.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for gathering for this glorification of Srila Gurudev Shishipad Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj. And it's his Vyasa Puja on January 2nd. And it became a tradition to gather every year, either end of December or beginning of January, and glorify Gurudev and share our experiences, our memories, and inspire each other through our glorifications. And I'm very grateful for everyone joining and giving each other this opportunity to listen and get inspiration. So I will not talk much and we will start with our first speaker. So our first speaker is Tarun Krishna Das from UK. So he is Diksha disciple of Srila Gurudev, and one of his main services is to organize programs together with Bhakti Zoom Seva team. So I know that Tarun Krishna has organized multiple Zoom programs, and we probably know him already, even by seeing. So Tarun Krishna Das, please go ahead and share your offering.
Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for organizing. How long do I have?
Up to 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll try and take less time than that. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Vana Dinamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Tinamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamine Vanjakalpa Turuyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Before attempting to speak some glories of our most beloved Gurudev, I want to offer my Dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of our Gurudev, Shri Om Vishnu Pad, Astotra Asata, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana, Goswami Maharaj, and to our Param Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, to Ula Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varg, to all Vaishnavas, especially those assembled, to all the organizers of this program headed by Kunjeshwari, to all of the listeners, thank you so much for giving me your time to try and speak some glories of our dearest Guru Maharaj. So I was thinking, what should I say today? And I was thinking, what does it mean to be a disciple? So I was trying to do some research and remember what it means. And in doing so, I was reminded that I'm actually not really a disciple of our Gurudev, because to actually be a disciple, the standard is very high. And I found this beautiful class from Param Gurudev, Srila Narayan Maharaj, in which he says, those who follow the life and teachings of their Gurudev from their heart are really disciples. Those who have taken initiation from Param Pujapad Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, but are not following his teachings, are not truly disciples. Those who are not following or practicing may have been outwardly initiated by him, but they are not real disciples. On the other hand, those who have not taken initiation from him but are totally following, they deserve the qualities to be true devotees. So he's addressing disciples of Srila Prabhupada as well. So I was feeling somewhat despondent reading this because that standard is actually very high. But I was also thinking that what makes our Gurudev exemplary, so many things. And that's what we're gathering here today to discuss so many things that make him Satguru, make him topmost guru, so many qualities that we'll hear and discuss. But what makes one of these things that makes him topmost guru is that he is also topmost disciple, that he is also setting the example in his actions, in all of his actions, in every way, every day, what it means to be a perfected disciple. Because he's not considering himself, oh, I am guru, because as he's explained many times, that guru doesn't see himself as guru, he doesn't see himself on this exalted platform. He sees himself as a disciple. So he's not thinking in this way like, oh, I'm so big, so many people look up to me. He's thinking, I am I am aspiring to be a disciple of my Gurudev. And how is he setting this example? He's setting this example by following the teachings and the instructions and the life of his Gurudevs, both his Diksha and Shiksha Gurudevs. So we know, and we've heard many times, and we all know because we see it, and we wouldn't be here if not for this fact, that in 1997 he was the first disciple of Srila Narayan Maharaj who was sent out to preach, who was given this instruction, travel around the world and preach to devotees all around the world. And since 1997 he's been doing this non-stop, and in doing this he's just completely following. It's similar like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Swami Prabhupada was also told by his Gurudev that you have to go to the West, and in spite of the hardship on the Jaladuta where he had 2 heart attacks, he made it on this ship all the way across to New York, and he had next to nothing there, and he went and preached wholeheartedly. In the same way, our Gurudev, you know, in a more modern day and age, didn't have to take a ferry for weeks upon weeks, but is constantly getting on aeroplane after aeroplane. When I was like soon like after I first met Gurudev, I was explaining to a friend like how, oh, my Gurudev travels all around the world and he's traveling all the time, and he was like, oh, that sounds so cool. That must be so cool. I wish I could do that. And it sounds appealing for a short amount of time, but then when you sit back and analyze that it's constantly 3 days in one place and then on to a next place and then on to a next place, and you have to sit there and wonder how much of Gurudev's life has he spent just in airports, waiting, waiting for planes, waiting for luggage, do like we have a joke in my family about how my dad gets like gets annoyed whenever he's in an airport, and he like transforms into like this different individual called airport dad, and he just sees red, and like to think like how long that our Gurudev has spent of his life like just sitting and waiting in airports just to give us this mercy, because this is the mercy that he's giving. At the same time, he is one-pointedly following the instruction of his Gurudev, and he's always thinking of his Gurudevs. I remember some time ago, one devotee who was traveling with our Gurudev a long time ago, I asked him, can you tell me some more about our Gurudev to increase my faith in him? And he sent me this long voice note, and he told many beautiful things that I've rarely heard. One of the things he said was that there were 2 prominent sannyasis. I don't know when it was, but there were 2 prominent sannyasis in Srila Gurudev, Param Gurudev Sangha, who both fell down And then it came apparent that they had both criticized things that our Gurudev was doing. And our Gurudev told this devotee that his Param Guru Maharaj, Srila Vana Goswami Maharaj, had given this boon, or had just said that anyone who criticizes our Gurudev, sorry,
All good, someone just unmuted.
okay. Um, so what was I saying? Param Gurudev had given this had said this thing that anyone who criticizes our Gurudev will fall down, you know. And our Gurudev was explaining to this devotee that he can't help this, you know, that because this is what my Gurudev has said, you know, this must be the way. So we know that we don't have complete humility, you know, or at least I can speak for myself. I know that I don't have, I'm very far off this of having the humility of our Gurudev. If someone criticized me and then fell down, so to speak, um, then I would probably be like, haha, you know, there you go. But you know, even in this moment when he sees someone, this unfortunate thing that someone has made this criticism and fallen down, he's only thinking again of his Gurudev. Or, you know, this is, you know, the power of my Gurudev. This is the Shakti of his instructions, that anything that comes out of my Gurudev's mouth is true, is the case. So I was also reflecting on how before our Gurudev gives Harikatha, he's always offering his pranams to his Gurudevs, and he's been giving Harikatha more than twice a day, you know, for 27 years, and for 28 years, in fact. And I'm also 28. I was born in 1997, which is the year he started traveling. So I realized that he must have given pranams to his Gurudev in his life more times than I have brushed my teeth. And obviously, it's quite a mundane comparison, but the reason I make this comparison is that, you know, things like brushing our teeth or taking a shower are things that we do on autopilot. When we do things or putting our shoes on, when we do things so often, we don't really think about them, you know. But this is one of the specialities of our Gurudev, that he's offering pranams to his Guru Maharajas so often, but he's still thinking about it all the time. He's still fully offering respect, fully offering surrender. Um, and on that, I want to finish with this quote, another quote from Param Gurudev. He says, "A disciple should surrender everything. He should not hold on to anything, including his independence. He should totally give up his independence. This type of disciple is very rare, however. We say that we are going to give up everything, but still we keep the lock and key to our treasury with us." So, in remembering our Gurudev, who is this exemplary disciple and this exemplary guru, I'm praying that he can bestow the mercy upon me, that I can reach a fraction of his surrender, and that I can, you know, realize what he's actually come to give in his mercy. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Please forgive me if I have made any mistakes. Thank you so much. Dandava pranams. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you so much, Tarun, for sharing your experience and reflections. And we will move on to the next speaker now. And our next speaker is Anand Mohan Prabhu from England. And he, as himself, he says he follows humbly Gurudev's instructions through prayer and service. So we will be all very happy to hear from you. Anand Mohan Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prasaya Bhutale Shimante Bhaktivedanta Vana Iti Namade. Thank you so much for inviting me to come along and speak and glorify our Guru on today his birthday. So first of all, I'd like to offer thousands and thousands of Dandava Params to my Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vani Goswami Maharaj, and to all Guru Vag and all devotees and Vaishnavas present here today. I don't know where to start and follow Tarun, but I'll try my best to do a little bit of glorifying my Guru. I'm such a fallen soul, I doubt I can even step up to the mark, but I will try my best. I will always remember Gurudev's birthday because he gave me Harinam on his birthday last year. He was traveling in Brazil, and it was very late at night in the UK, and I got a phone call off Ananga Mohan, who said, "Can you do three-way Zoom?" And I said, "I don't know. I think so, maybe." And Gurudev was very patient, and he gave me Harinam. And I would just like to say that how much my life has changed since that very day, just over 12 months ago. We're the same age, Gurudev and I. We're 66, well, Gurudev is now 67 years old. I'm 66 years old, and I was reflecting last night on the difference of our worlds, how different our lives have been. I've been busy for quite many years trying to fill my senses with gratifications and trying to do all kinds of things and all in a lost cause, whilst Gurudev for so long has been traveling the world giving mercy to fallen souls like myself and giving us the opportunity to connect with Radha Krishna on a daily basis. Not long ago, I was in hospital. I was very poorly. I had double pneumonia, and I also caught the hospital bug, and I was in intensive care. And I was ready for packing it all in, kind of thing. I felt very, very poorly, and then I received a message of one of my godbrothers, Premananda Das, and he said, "I've got a message here from Gurudev for you, Ananda." And Gurudev just said to me that he was sorry to hear that I was ill and that he had thoughts with me, and he would ask for the mercy of Radharani to help me along my way. I would like to say that Gurudev, that was far, far better than all the medical attention that I had been receiving. It lifted me. I felt as though Gurudev was there with me in the hospital, sat beside my bed, and it gave me such great, great, great comfort. Over the last year or so, since I took full Diksha initiation of Gurudev when he came to London, and then later on in the year, I went to see him in Wales when he visited Wales. I was so pleased to see the smile upon his face when he looked my way, and I thought, well, you know, I've been remembered. He's remembered me. after thousands and thousands and thousands of devotees who have took shelter at Gurudev's feet, it seems that he doesn't forget anyone. It seems that way. I don't know what I can say. I'm going to start rambling, I think, if I go on much longer. But Gurudev, if you can hear me crying out to you every day, like I do, I speak to you on a daily basis. I send my prayers and ask you for your mercy and helping me with my day-to-day life and helping me reach out to Radha and hoping that someday I can leave this life and not come back to the same old world that I've been born into so many times before. Oh, Gurudev, please, happy birthday from me, your servant, Nanda Mohan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for such a sincere offering. So we will move to the next speaker, and we were ahead of time, but I believe it's okay because some devotees take longer sometimes. So in case you take whole 15 minutes, it's okay. We have time. So our next speaker is Krishna Kripa Prabhu from Holland. And Krishna Kripa Prabhu is traveling a lot with Gurudev, and I know he's helping devotees a lot with different services. So whenever he is, he always helps and serves in all the possible ways. And of course, when Gurudev is there in Holland as well. So please, Krishna Kripa Prabhu.
Thanks, Didi. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hukum Gurati Vachilam Pangam Laite Gri Yat Kripataham Sri Gurudim Taranam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram. First of all, I'm paying my allegiance to my Diksha Gurudeva Shishavad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj and all the Rupanam Guru and all the assembled devotees here. Thank you so much, Didi, for giving me this opportunity to speak some Harikatha and speak about the glories of Srila Gurudeva Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. I really don't know what to say because I am sleeping a lot in the lap of Maya. So I try to this couple of days I try to listen some of the glories of devotees who is giving the Puspanjali, and in the morning just 2 hours ago I had some argue with my wife Shamapriya because I didn't want to speak. I was so nervous and I had so much challenges. So still in this midday, I spoke one devotee and I asked to this devotee, what does it mean when you are, if people are saying, if we are going to speak Harikatha, then our tongue will be purified. And this devotee was telling, you don't know what it means? I said, no, I don't know what it means. So he said that if we speak Harikatha and we speak the glories of Srila Gurudeva, then bhakti will manifest in our heart. So I really will try and do my best to speak some about the glories of my Srila Gurudeva. I met my Gurudeva 10 years ago, approximately. And the first time that I saw him, no, before, there was a seminar organized by our seniors, and this devotee was giving me one cookie, one coconut cookie. I like to speak about cookies. So this Mahaprasad is when she gave me this cookie and I was taking this Mahaprasad, there was some feeling in my heart that this person, this devotee, this Jivatma, she will bring me one Gurudeva. But I didn't know what a spiritual master. Yeah, we heard something, but I didn't know what it means. And I don't know. I had this thought, and I followed the seminar. And after the seminar, I saw we had this master class with our Gurudev. And I saw him. I was listening to his Harikatha. And after his Harikatha, my wife was there. We didn't marry yet. And my mother was there. And they asked if you want, can do someone want to ask some questions? So I point my finger up and Gurudev said, oh, what do you want to ask? I said, I have two questions. Can I hug you? Because I had this desire to hug him. I don't know what it was. So everyone was laughing. And the second question was, can I be a disciple? So my wife or my Shama Priya and my mother was.
You've muted. And so
Sorry.
have you.
I'm sorry, I muted the wrong person.
And from this day, when I had had some Harinam from Gurudev, I get this seat of bhakti, Brahmanda Brahmiti Kono Bhagwan Jiv, Guru Prasadi Pai, Bhakti Lata Beach. I still don't know really, after 10 years, why Krishna is so merciful and why Gurudev is so merciful that he sent, Srimati Radhika sent his dear friends to uh, save us. Gurudev taught in his last lecture that they are this postman, they are bringing this nice letter, and so we can cross this material ocean. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was telling the Guru is very big and very powerful because he has totally surrendered to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. Still, I'm asking myself how to surrender because Gurudev said so many times, first we have to surrender ourselves. How to surrender? Anukuya sakalpa pratikurja varjanam. So we have to do all these things, what is favorable, and reject things, what's not favorable for us. What can I tell about his glories? It's so much. I can only tell what he did with my heart because I had so many before and still I have so many challenges like everyone, Kam, Krodh, Lobh. And before I was in Bhakti, I had so many mental challenges and struggles and traumas. Still I have these things. But he, by his instruction and by his words, he said, simply chant the holy name. So I started to chant. And I had so many medication. And by having this little Shraddha, I started to chant and see and experience that our mind can change. Our mind can focus on other things. What to focus on? Krishna Katha, Harinam. Gurudev said in the last lecture, and I was thinking of this and also meditating on this also. And in the morning, something happened also when I went to. I started with Thai boxing, but he said that why our mind is still so chanchal. How does it come? Because we are not listening properly, Harikatha. We are not. This Harikatha will not enter in this air and come out and on air. It has to go down to our heart. But we are not following this. We are not really listening. That's why I was thinking, oh, Gurudev, I was so sad. And the last year I'm very sad because it's very hard to follow his instructions. But still, he's so merciful, even of all our faults and our, hoe zeg je dat tekortkomingen? All our shortcomings, yes, all our shortcomings, he's still giving this mercy. And everyone has this same experience, I think. When we have this darshan of Gurudev, then we become very strong. Nothing will stop us. We have no mind problems. We don't think about our material things. And he's really this example of Rupa Goswami, all the big acharyas, and not only of this, not only this. When he started to preach to us, to tell his Harikatha, and this Harikatha will come day by day, it comes forth, like all the verses of Upanishadit, Manashiksha, Shikshastakam, like how to control our senses, like and how to control our mind. And he is so big example of how to do this practically, and he's teaching us, don't listen to Harikatha only, just try to apply it and try to be a follower of the Rupanuga Gauravanga. So in this way, slowly, by his example and by his words, I was trying to change my heart. And it's so difficult, but what to do? Sometimes this material world is also a good place because we can do our sadhana very well, and we can realize who we really are. And by his mercy also, he sent a lot of devotees to us to encourage us in bhakti. And by his example, I'm still learning and try to engage myself more and more. And I don't know what to say anymore, but I just want to. I listened some Harikatha from Savitri Didi from India, and she was telling that the first time Gurudev, she met Gurudev in 1977, and the most people know his name as Subhasa Kahdas, but she said Param Gurudev before he has his name Sunanda Krishna Prabhu, and she was telling that when she met him, he was just like a university schoolboy with t-shirt and jeans and gimpen, sneakers, yes, and sneakers. And he had this darshan of Mahaprabhu in the temple in Devananda Gaudiya Math. And the first time he had this darshan, he lost his consciousness. And Didi was telling that in this book Ujjwala Nimili in Ananda Chandrika, she was comparing this that Rukmani has heard before so many stories of Krishna, and that's why slowly she was attracted to him. But the gopis, they never heard before about Krishna, and spontaneously they had this love for Krishna. In the same way, she told Gurudeva has the same spontaneous love and affection for Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. So in this way, and she told also that many times, so many times, she saw Gurudev like so hard working and we traveled so many times with Gurudev, and we saw the same thing. He is not sleeping. I don't unconscious. He's resting. He maybe 2-3 hours sometimes in Holland, also in India. And I said, Gurudev, you didn't sleep? I said, how do you know? Because I was running around the house. I was doing my japa walk. I couldn't sleep also, so I was doing paligram of Gurudev and so many times. And he said the next day, how do you know? I said, yes, I know, because I was outside. I was checking if the light was on and off. And Savita Didi was telling so much seva he did on his bike. Everyone knows this story. And he was so absorbed in this mood. And she was telling one story about when Gurudev went to the Jamuna, take one bath, and came back. And one time he was singing and dancing, and he didn't know that he was so in the mood of Mahaprabhu and so in the mood of Hari Kirtan and Harikatha, and he fainted. So many examples she gave, and so many examples we heard, and now we can see these things also. Like yesterday, we were listening to Gurudev's Harikatha, and Shama Priya told, "Oh, he's so handsome and he's so young and he looks so bright." And we said, "Yes. How is it possible?" And there is something special in his eyes, and there is. And why he is so special, I think, because he follows this instruction of his Gurudev. He always telling that we have to follow this mood of Srimati Radharani, and we have to give up all bad things in our heart and only share some love and give some love and affection to everyone and please the Guru Varga. And I listened also from some devotees from the UK a couple of days ago when they did the Zoom, that what do he wants? How can we please him the best? To preach. We have the Swapu Seva and Mani Seva. He will be very much pleased when we are preaching, when we are going to preach in some kind of way. If you can play mridanga, go to the market, give some books. I can only tell that I know that Harinam is changing my heart slowly, and it was it's changing my personality and so many things. So I hope that one day also some preaching center of Gurudev will manifest in Holland also, so we can please our Gurudev. And Vanjakalpadvishi Kripasindavevicha Patitrampayamudyo Vaishnavyo.
Thank you so much, Krishna Kripa Prabhu. And Shama Priya Didi, would you like to speak too?
Krishna Krishna Bhaktai Tadbhaktai Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pradesh Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana iti namine. Panchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vayevicha Patitaram Pavane Vishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Thank you so much, Kunjeshri Didi, for inviting us for the Zoom session for the glorification of our Gurudev Vyasa Puja coming up on the 2nd of January. So I'm very happy to gather here in the Zoom meeting and listen to all the beautiful glories and stories and impressions and realizations from other devotees. So yeah, I rushed from home. So I was actually I'm not so good, not so well prepared, but I will try to speak from my heart. And I was just listening to Tarun Krishna Prabhu about Gurudev tirelessly traveling, from one country to another country, from one city to another city, staying for 2 or 3 days. I mean, this year we were traveling with Gurudev in the Europe tour, going from one country to another country. It is really tiring to travel like this. I mean, I cannot keep the mood of Gurudev like this. His how do you say it? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like Gurudev, aren't you tired? I'm so tired, but he is just doing. I don't know how he's doing what he is doing. So in this way, I really felt what Tarun Krishna Prabhu was saying. That this is the mood of my Gurudev. He got his instructions of his guru, and he carried this instruction in his heart, and there's nothing else I mean, he is just obeying this instruction. He is just preaching all over the world the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And yeah, this is like really amazing to see how Gurudev in his age, now he's becoming 67. He will turn 67 years old and still tirelessly traveling all over the world. So yes, what to say? Gurudev always emphasized everybody to chant and be happy. You can see for himself because he's practicing by his own example. I mean, every time when you see Gurudev, he is always his japa mala in his hand. He will never leave his japa mala, and when he's not chanting, he will hold it like this, and carry it around everywhere he's walking. And in this way, when for myself, so this year for me was a little bit difficult year, and in this year I lost a little bit of myself, and I tried to find myself again in my sadhana also, because my sadhana was going very weak. And the only person who could really give me strength was Gurudev, because every time when I was feeling weak, I would like try to connect with Gurudev by chanting or just send out a message, and maybe I get a reply, maybe not. But I would see that he will read the message, and that knowing that already gave me so much strength. So yes, so in this way, Srila Gurudev always was just like Krishna Kripa Prabhu was also saying, Vani Seva, Vapu Seva, like Vani Seva, Gurudev was really like, he is very, he gives the importance to Vani Seva also, that his Harikatha will be spread all over the world in all different languages. And you can see this is also happening in so many languages now. Gurudev's Katha is being spread all over the internet. So this is really like the very best seva we can do to please our Gurudev. Because yesterday when Gurudev was in the Zoom meeting for the French devotees, Gurudev said before he went offline, he said, what is Vyasa Puja? Vyasa Puja is to make your Guru happy. But how to make Guru happy? This is like, you can ask yourself how to make Guru happy. Like in this way, just follow his instructions, like chant the holy names, and also transcribe his lectures and translate in your own languages and spread all over. And he can bring us Guru. He is the one who can, by his mercy, we can get the mercy of Bhagavan, because we cannot reach to Bhagavan. So in what way? So only by the mercy of Sri Guru we can get the mercy of Bhagavan, and without we have no advancement. So in this way we should try to please our Gurudev, follow his instructions. I mean, Guru, what is the meaning of Guru? Gu means darkness, and Ru is Prakash, the light. You know, the one who destroys all kinds of darkness from our hearts and give light. So in this way, Gurudev always says we have to clean our hearts and take out all of the unwanted things, all the anarthas, to take it out so we can be focused on our goal. And what is our ultimate goal? It is Radha Dashyam. I mean, there is no Harikatha when Gurudev is not speaking about Radha Dasyam, how to be the ultimate maidservant of Srimati Radhika. And yes, so for myself, I don't know. I'm trying to follow my Gurudev's instructions. I feel very pleased when I'm in his presence, and when possible, I will try to go wherever he is going, when it's India or maybe in Europe. This time I wish I could be in Brazil too, but okay, let's see what Gurudev has planned, what plans he has for me. So yes, so I think in this way I will finish my speech. Vanchakalpatarvishya kripasindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnuvibhyo namo namaha. Jai.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shamapriya Didi and Krishna Kripa Prabhu, for sharing your personal experience and your impressions of Gurudev. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead with our next speaker, which is Premananda Prabhu from Spain. And he's in charge or taking care of the temple, so a center of Gurudev, which started in Spain a few years ago. And Premananda Prabhu has been doing the seva very consistently, and also knowing a lot of scriptures and verses, and trying very sincerely to follow Srila Gurudev's teachings. So Premananda Prabhu, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Haribol?
Haribol.
Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Gauraprasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vanaiti Namine Vandeham Bhakti Chakora Gauranga Prestitham Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Ekanistitham Rasayana Kathamritam Sankirtanam Nandadham Goswaminam Banam Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachanam Pangam Langhayate Giri Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarine Pancha Kalpadruvischa Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahapatanjaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Ha Devi Kakuvara Kadaka Yadavacha Yachini Bhatta Bhuvi Dandava Dugdhadarti Ashabrasamudasya Janasya Kirtva Gandharvike Nijagane Gananam Videhi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first of all I offer my unlimited Dandavat Pranam again and again to the dust of the lotus feet of the topmost exalted Brajarasik Acharya Om Vishnupada Stotra Sat Srila Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj, simultaneously to Nityalila Pravista Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Nityalila Pravista Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, and all Rupanuga Gurvarga, and all Vaishnavis. So I don't know what to speak. I'm a little bit nervous. But Krishna Kripa Prabhu, he spoke very nicely how Gurudev, he is absorbed in very, very high class moods, very, very exalted moods. So, what is the meaning of Vyas Puja? Vyas Puja means to understand what is the desire of Guru, what is his mood, and to serve according to that mood. So we should try to know, try to understand what is the mood inside of the heart of Guru. We cannot touch his glories just by glorifying his external behavior. Because we can see Guru is doing externally same activities than Bhadajivas. He is also eating, he's taking prasad. Gurudev is taking prasad. We are also taking prasad. Gurudev also, he's not sleeping so much, but he also takes some rest. Gurudev is working, we work also. So by this consideration, we cannot understand properly the glories of someone. We can only understand them if we fix our minds, if we try to understand what are the mood inside the heart of this exalted personality. So when we want to understand the mood of someone, we have to look what he's speaking, what is he doing, with what is his behavior, like internal behavior. We can see that Gurudev is the perfect example of Brajarasik sadhu. It is said, Tasmad Guru Prapadita Gigyasu Sriya Uttama Sabde Pare Chanisnata Brahmana Upasamasraya. This is the symptoms of Guru. If we want to know what is Shreya, what is the topmost goal of our life, then we should take shelter of one personality who has these three requirements. Tasmat Guru Prabhade Gigyasu Sriya Uttama Sabde Pare Chanisnata Brahmana Upasamare. He should have knowledge about all Ved Purana. He should know up to down all Srimad Bhagavatam, all Vedanta, everything. And for this reason, he will be able to remove all the doubts of his disciples. Then another symptom must be that he is completely detached from this material sense gratification. But these two things are external symptoms. That means they are not the main symptom of a Guru. Main symptom is Brahmani Upasamasraya. He has realization of this Param Brahma. Without realization of this Param Brahma, it is useless to be so much detached or to have so much knowledge of Shastra. Because we can see Mayavadis, they know so much Shastra. And they can quote many slokas, just like Thunderbolt. They can say many slokas very quickly. But they are not really Guru. Because they have no realization in their hearts about Paramatma. So, what is this Param Brahma? Yatha Brahma Swarupa Shri Radhika Prakriti Para. Yatha Brahma Swarupa Shri Krishna Prakriti Para. In Puranas, it is said that this Param Brahma is none other than Radha and Krishna. But this Param Brahma also has many manifestations. Gurudev explained when he was here in Spain. He said, we are chanting Mahamantra, but Mahamantra means Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Sham, Sham, Radhe Radhe. Okay, but which Radhe we are singing? Which Radhanam? Because Gurudev said there is Viyogini Radha, Samyogini Radha, and Vrisavanu Nandini Srimati Radhika, the original Srimati Radhika. Then there is also various types of Krishna, Mathuradish Krishna, Dwarakadish Krishna, Brajendranandan Shyama Sundar Krishna. And inside this, Brajendranandan Shyama Sundar also, many types of moods. So which one we are singing? So that Guru has realization of this Param Brahma, means that he should know all these things and have realization of this. And Gurudev, he is absorbed in the topmost form of this Param Brahma, which is Krishna's original Swarup, which is only manifest in Vrindavan. That is Dhir Lalit Nayak. Dhir Lalit Nayak means that he has 4 very nice qualifications, because he is Parihaspati. He is very expert in making very nice jokes with the gopis. So for this reason, he is Parihaspati. This is first qualification of Dhir Lalit Nayak, Krishna. Original form of Krishna has this qualification. Then Parihaspatne, Nischintata. He has no any problem because he is the son of Nanda Baba. For this reason, his only duty is to take care of the cows and to go here and there in Vrindavan, disturbing the gopis, stealing the gopis' clothes, this and that. So he has no any worries, no any problem, because everything is arranged for him already. He has no need for work or anything. So for this reason, he's called Nischintata. Then Navayova Joncha. He's always, how do you say, young and fresh, always new. Navayova Joncha. Like millions of cupids. You see one time, you are never satisfied. Never satisfied. If this tricky person comes in your, how do you say, field vision, if he comes in front of you, then you are doomed, because his glance is very crooked. Gurudev said, if some straight arrow comes in front of you, if pierce your heart one straight arrow, very easy, you can take it out. But if it's crooked, very difficult, you cannot take it out. It is very difficult. So Krishna's glance is like that, very crooked. So for this reason, he's called Dhir Lalit Nayak. Then another qualification, Parihaspati, Nischintata, Navayova Jancha, and another, I forgot. No, Parihaspati, Navayova Jancha. Prayasi Bhusita. He is completely controlled by the prema of the gopis. This is his topmost qualification, because he is Param Brahma Bhagavan. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is supreme. Everyone is worshipping his lotus feet, but he himself is worshipping the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So, just like Krishna, he was able to understand what is the mood of Srimati Radhika. He had access up to some point to the heart of Srimati Radhika. Why? Because Krishna, he is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So, if you surrender to someone, then you have access to his heart. Gurudev said, I asked him once how to realize the heart of Guru. And he told me this. He told me, if you surrender, then you can understand what is the heart of Guru. Then he gave this example. He said, just like Srimati Radhika. Srimati Radhika, she knows the heart of Krishna. Why? Because she is completely surrendered to Krishna. Otherwise, there is no point that she can know the heart of Krishna, because he's very crooked. So, unless you are very sincere, you cannot understand these things. So, in the same way, Gurudev, he's completely surrendered to Srimati Radhika. For this reason, he can understand what is the mood of Srimati Radhika, and he can serve to her according to that mood, according to the necessity. What is the need that Srimati Radhika she has now? Gurudev knows perfectly these things. He can engage everyone in this way. So this is what Gurudev is doing in this material world. Gurudev is not conditioned soul. Those symptoms that he's exhibiting in, like Krishna Kripa Prabhu, he explained how he was fainting when he saw the deities for first time, how he was fainting in the Nam Sankirtan, how he's completely absorbed in speaking Harikatha, especially his Radhanista Ekanistitam Rasayana Katha Amritam. Always he's speaking about Srimati Radhika. So Gurudev is here engaging everyone without any consideration who is qualified, who is unqualified. He's giving to everyone this desire to serve Srimati Radhika. Generally, we're saying Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Ji Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. This Bhakti Lata Beach means Krishna Seva Vasana. But Gurudev, he's giving Radha Seva Vasana. He's giving the tendency to serve Srimati Radhika to all living entities. And he's doing this tirelessly, without any rest. Constantly he's traveling all around the world. Why? Because his Gurudev told him. And his Gurudev, why he's traveling around the world? Because his Guru told him. And why they are traveling, why they are doing this preaching? Because Srimati Radhika told to them. Srimati Radhika told, Hey Kamala Manjari, you go to this material world and preach Sudha Bhakti. Because all the jivas, they are completely forgetful of Krishna and Bhakti and everything. So you have to go and preach. Then Kamala Manjari, she said, Hey, please, Srimati Radhika, you send some help for me. Then she sent Nayana Mani Manjari, that means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then Nayana Mani Manjari said, please, Srimati Radhika, send someone for me also. Then she said, okay. Then she sent Vinoda Manjari. That means Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Then Vinod Manjari also, by her mercy, Ramana Manjari manifest in this material world. That means Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Rag Manjari, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. So in this way, the parampara is going on. And directly, the mercy of Srimati Radhika is touching the hearts of everyone by the medium of Srila Gurudev at this moment. All around the world, everyone, they are coming to know about the glories of Srimati Radhika. Gurudev is constantly absorbed in this mood, how to serve Srimati Radhika, how to glorify Srimati Radhika, how to increase everyone love and affection for Srimati Radhika. He's not looking that, oh, you should serve my lotus feet. He's looking, you should serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. For this reason, he's also releasing many books, Madhusmita Sri Radha and Sapta Sindhu Gunavati Sri Radha. All his books, they are about this, about Srimati Radhika, how to love Srimati Radhika. So Gurudev is the topmost Brajarasic sadhu. So it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is this verse? Sri Chaitanya, Are Baba. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karaha Vichara Karile Chitte Paivet Chamatkar. If you consider what is the mercy of Mahaprabhu, if you stop to think about it, if you take some time to speak about it, I have already time finished? No.
Oh, we are running close, actually. If you 2 minutes, if you could wrap up.
Okay, just finished. So if you take some time to analyze what is the mercy of Mahaprabhu, then your heart will be overjoyed because Mahaprabhu is here. Anarpita charan chirat karunaya avatirna kalu samarpayitu manotu jvala rasam subhakti Sri Hari purata sundara kadambat dyuti sandir pitas sada hridaya kandare spuratuva Sachinandana. Sachinandan Gaura Hari is giving this Manjari Bhav everyone. But we are not seeing Mahaprabhu. To whom are we seeing? To Guru Pada Padma. So for this reason, Srila Gurudev Daya Karaha Vichar Karile Chitte Paive Chamatkar. So, bhai, we should try to understand what is the mercy of Gurudev and what is his vichar, what is his mood. How can we understand this thing? By serving him, by surrendering at his lotus feet, by offering our hearts to Guru Pada Padma. Then our life will be successful. Just like in this verse, it is said, I was quoting before, Tasmat Guru Praparita Jigyasu Shreya. Shreya means topmost goal. So what is this topmost goal that Gurudev is giving? Radha Dasyam. So I finish here. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai.
Jai, thank you so much, Pramananda Prabhu. I'm sorry to interrupt. All right, so now we have a break of 15 minutes, and then we'll come back for a second part of the Zoom meeting when we have even more speakers, and we will continue till about 8:30 ET. Yes, so see you after the break. Hare Krishna, everyone. So our break time is over, and now we will continue with the second part of the event. And we have more than 5 speakers on the list to go. So now I'd like to invite Krishna Priyadidi from USA. Krishna Priyadidi, are you here?
Haribol.
All right, good. So I'd like to say a short introduction that Krishna Priya Didi is serving Gurudev mostly in USA, and she is taking care of the Gurudev Center and the temple in Seattle. Is it right, Krishna Priya? Seattle still? Yes, and she was traveling all over the world with Gurudev too and doing many, many services. So please add something, Krishna Priya, if I didn't mention, and take your time.
Om Jnanatimirannasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Gora Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Niti Namine Vannayam Bhakti Chakoram Gauranga Prestitam Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radhika Ekanistitam Rasayana Katamritam Sankirtanam Anandadam Goswaminam Vanam Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, whose Vyasa Puja we are honoring today, and also our Param Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Parishta Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Leela Parishta Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, our whole Rupanuga Guru Varga, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, any respected guests present here today, Pranama Pranams. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak, Kunjashri Didi. And really, so many of you are such wonderful scholars and in such nice service to our Srila Gurudev. So this is really just for the purification of my own tongue and to remember all of these wonderful things and to take the remnants of what everyone has already spoken about and attempt to glorify our Srila Gurudev, who is beyond the words of conditioned souls like me, but at least I can attempt. So for today, what I was thinking about for speaking was really this idea of what it means to surrender to Gurudev and what inspires us in the first place to surrender to our Srila Gurudev. Because we can read so many things in Shastra, we can read so much scripture, read many shlokas, hear many subject matters on this topic of we must surrender unto a spiritual master. And Srila Gurudev has asked me to study Bhagavad Gita, and so I always am trying to refer back to this text, but it's one shloka that says that many people know, very famous verse, chapter 4, verse 34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya uparikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So this verse is in a very prominent text that so many people know of, a very famous book, Shastra, the Bhagavad Gita. And this is a very prominent verse, yet how do we know to actually do this? And how can we fully surrender ourselves and say, okay, yes, even though I'm just reading this in a book, in a text, what makes me want to voluntarily surrender my soul, my heart, my life, all of my energy, all of my movements, ideally, thoughts, speech, everything unto a spiritual master? And in this, the awakening of the Bhakti Lata Bij and the Siddha Pranali, it's starting with Shraddha, awakening of faith. So Shraddha opens this blossom of the heart in the heart. And from there, this Bhakti creeper starts to weave its way up, and the final stage being Prem. So Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhav, and Prem. So all these different stages the creeper is going through and slowly awakening to this final stage of love of God. But what is the thing in the beginning that awakens this creeper of devotion is this blossom of Shraddha, this awakening of the heart. So there are three ways in which Gurudev gives mercy. And one is Hridik, one is Vachik, one is Alukdan. So within the heart and within the speech, the words of the Guru, and also the glance. So Premananda Prabhuji was speaking on the glance of Sri Guru being so important, actually the glance of Sri Krishna, but Sakshat Hari, right, Sri Gurudev is non-different than Krishna. He's his representative, his Karuna Shakti embodied here on this material plane. So his glance is also so powerful. So one way which he can bestow mercy upon the disciple is through this glance. And through this glance can really awaken bhakti within the heart. He can implant the seed and give the disciple some feeling, some knowing in their heart of what it means to truly be loved. And I was just hearing the other day, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaja is staying here at our ashram, our center here in the Brahmachari ashram. And he was saying that we have to be given more love by Sri Guru than we can find anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else, in any group, from any person, we receive more love from Sri Guru. So Gurudev is giving us this love through his glance, also through the heart, so this feeling within the heart. And one small thing I can share about my own experience with that was so amazing was in Brazil, actually, which everyone knows is this beautiful land of Gurudev's mercy and Guru Nishta. So it's such one-pointed, beautiful devotion there. So many disciples of our Gurudev. And so being there in that experience of just a wave, an ocean really of Gurudev's mercy and this culture of everyone being under his guidance, under his shelter, following his instructions and carrying his mood. And so being, around so many disciples like this, one can become infected, so infectious, this Guru Nishta. So one becomes infected with this feeling, and that was my experience there, was just this small awakening of this faith for Gurudev, one-pointed Nishta. And I was feeling something within the heart, just like even when I was separate from him, away from him, I was there, like this warm and intense, loving, feeling just within the heart. And I didn't understand what it was or where it was coming from, but I just know that it was something tangible, and it was something I was experiencing, my own experience, which up until that point, it had been so many different, experiences through Shastra of like, oh, this is what we should do, right? Like Vaidhi Bhakti, this is the path, you take shelter of Guru, and of course, Guru has so many attractive qualities, but this was my first, tangible experience of something that had been spoken about in Shastra, of this awakening of love. And so I was feeling this within my own heart, And then I wanted to confirm its truth, you know, and so I was at the airport and Gurudev was just about to leave, and I was trying to frame some way to ask him a question of like, how do we know that this feeling is real within ourselves? How do we know that we're really speaking to Gurudev in our heart, really connecting to Gurudev in our heart? How do we know we're not imagining this, you know? And through Gurudev's pure mercy and also his omniscience, right? He's present everywhere. He's present within our heart. He knows everything. So he looked at me, he said, "You have some question?" And I was so shy, I couldn't even formulate a question. I couldn't, you know, reveal this question within. So sometime within the Harikatha, he simply turned and he looked and he said, "Krishna Priya, the first time I met her, she completely captivated my heart." And in that moment, I knew, okay, he knows exactly what I'm feeling, and he's also saying that this is his reciprocation. Is that not only am I feeling this, but Gurudev feels this for us as well. He loves all of his disciples so much, more than thousands of mothers, it says in Shastra. So he has pure love for all of us, and the way that he reveals this love is different for every person. But in that moment, it was just like the perfect validation for me to always remember what he said, you know, like I will never forget that moment that he revealed that. And that he knew what I was asking. So this to me was like the perfect evidence, the perfect proof that Sri Guru is real and everything in Shastra is real, and we just need to follow these instructions that he's giving and also that Shastra is giving. So, Brahmanda Brahminte Kon Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. It says that we've been wandering throughout universes, higher, lower planets, the material world for eons. Since time immemorial, we've been in this conditioned state, completely covered in our consciousness. And by some causeless mercy of Sri Guru and Krishna, we are able to come under shelter of a spiritual master and receive their darshan, receive their Harikatha, receive Harinam. And through this, we're finally able to emerge from this samsar, right? So we get this causeless mercy of Sri Guru, and then this creeper can awaken within the heart, and we can truly learn to serve and be of service and be inspired in our bhakti practice, because otherwise so much tattva, so much gyan all the time, this isn't the essence of bhakti. Bhakti is also ras, bhakti is also bhav. You know, there's so much loving essence and sweetness and you know, like juice, nectar. So if we feel some tangible feeling of this, then we can become so inspired in our practice. And if we're not feeling this yet, or we want to feel more, or we forget this feeling, we can simply pray, "Oh Gurudev, please show me, please help me remember, help me have this experience of this truth. Help me remember again and again. I'm so fallen and conditioned, I can forget, even with so many moments where you've proven yourself to be, you know, a pure devotee and connected completely to Sri Krishna and devoted eternally to your Srila Gurudev. Please help me remember again and again." So in this way, we can receive this mercy again and again, which has to happen sometimes, at least in my case, maybe less with others, but for sure for me. So we can receive this mercy of Srila Gurudev and be inspired and come under his shelter truly, like everyone was saying. This meaning of being a disciple, of a real disciple, is to serve Sri Gurudev and operate under his instruction. So Guru Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam. So this is the essence of all mantra, is Gurudev's words, Gurudev's instructions. So it also says in Sri Guru Charana Padma, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitite Koriya Akya Arena Kori Homani Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati, Jai Prasare Puri Sarva Ash. Make the words emanating from the lotus mouth of Shri Guru one with your heart, and do not aspire for anything else. Attachment to the lotus feet of Shri Guru is the greatest attainment. By his mercy, all desires are fulfilled. So just in this verse, and really in so many other verses, it's saying that simply if we attach ourselves to the instructions of Shri Guru and his instructions personally for us, and also general instructions, that this awards everything. So this to me is like the secret of bhakti. So we can study so much Shastra, we can think so much about Radharani and the Manjaris and Krishna and the spiritual world, and meditate on these things, but if we're not taking shelter of Srila Gurudev and following his instructions on simple things, getting up early and chanting our rounds and attending Mangalarti, we will never attain these higher things. So really, if we can simply meditate on Sri Guru and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the embodiment of Guru Tattva, right, Baladev, then we can receive this mercy that will then help us come into these higher and higher stages, help us in our sadhan, help us in removing anarthas, aparad, and be able to do bhajan and sadhan with dedication every day, and be able to have the potency to fulfill the desires of our Srila Gurudev and truly please him and make him happy, which is really the essence of all of our bhakti. If we can just make Gurudev happy and receive a sprinkle of his mercy and his mood through that service, then we will attain our perfection goal. And this is what's so exciting, because Sri Krishna is very far away. He's like with his flute playing in the spiritual world, just playing his flute and enjoying with the gopis. Gurudev said this once in Harikatha in Brazil. He was saying Krishna is very busy. He's enjoying. He's busy there. But Sri Guru is his Karuna Shakti embodied and personified and sent to the material world, so that all of us can have his association and have a chance to build this relationship in person, because Sri Krishna is a person, Sri Guru is also a person, so we can very easily build this bridge to Sri Krishna if we build the bridge with Srila Gurudev. And the best way to have this relationship with Gurudev is from that verse in Bhagavad Gita, where we inquire humbly, submissively. So submissive mood, inquiry, and also sevaya. So service. So with these three things, we can surely attain Sri Guru's mercy and attain that Sri Krishna who is now so far away, attain love of him and service to him. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Please forgive any of my imperfections or mistakes, and anything good that came is just from Gurudev's mercy and inspiration. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Krishna Priya Didi. Now we will continue with Mani. Sorry, just a sec. Now we will continue with Nayana Mani Manjari from France. And I inquire all the devotees before the Zoom, like, what's your favorite service, or what would you like to do, or your prominent seva? So Didi told that her most favorite service is actually if she gets a chance to clean Gurudev's shoes. And then she said that she's also good at decorating. So please, Didi, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hare Krishna.
Okay, my first speech. Just a moment. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Pristhaya Brutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Vana iti namine Vandeham Bhakti Chakoram Gauranga Nija Preshtitam Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radhaya Kanishtitam Rasayana Kathamritam Sankirtanam Anandadam Goswaminam Vanam Namaha Panchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I wanna offer my Dandavat pranams to my dearest Srila Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, my Param Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj, all Guru Varga, all devotees, please accept my Dandavat pranams. So first of all, I wanna apologize for my English. It's not really perfect, but I will try to do my best. And also, anyway, I cannot skip this opportunity to glorify my dear Guru and try to purify my heart and tongue. So before I was preparing really like real speech, and ChatGPT helped me, but after I decided just talk by my heart. Of course, I have some planning, but it will be easier and it will be more natural, I think. So thank you for inviting me for this Zoom meeting and for this opportunity to talk about my dear Gurudev and to share in with my personal experience, because really some miracle situations I have in my devotion life with Gurudev. So I'd like to share with you. Yeah, I remember how it starts. My way with Gurudeva, I remember it was 2021. It was pandemic time in Goa. I have been there. I stopped there, and I already was practicing to chant it sometimes, and I had some little altar, and like I was listening bhajans, some lectures, but it was not really like stable and not really serious, how I think. So yeah, and that time was really hard for me emotionally, mentally. So I was suffering in material life, and I remember just some desire came from my heart, and I thought, Krishna, I wanna be closer to you. How can I do it? I didn't plan in, I didn't think about it too much, but that time just desire came out, and I thought, okay, let's see. And in couple of months, maybe in Goa, I met a devotee of Guru from Russia, and we became really good friends. And she was glorifying Gurudeva always. She was talking about him a lot. And of course, slowly, I became more interested of who is this person. And I tried to listen in Harikatha, but it's like, it's too high level. So I didn't understand anything, and also my English was more bad than now. And but I tried. Anyway, I realized that that person is very special, because to glorify so much how she did, really that person have to be someone very special. So also in maybe in few more months, she proposed me to get initiation by online by Skype, and I thought, I'm not ready. I'd like to feel this person. I'd like to meet him personally, and after I can decide, because I cannot, it's too much responsible for me. Yes, and less than in 1 year, somehow I have been in Delhi, and in the same time, Gurudeva came to Delhi for just 3 days to Shri Raman Vihari Gaudiya Math temple, and it was before Navadvipa Parikrama. So my other friend, disciple of oh my God, I forgot the name. So god brother of our Gurudev, Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Yes. So she told me that, one Maharaj, he is in Delhi now, so let's go to meet him to get darshan. And again, that time I was super depressed, and I honestly don't like Delhi. I didn't want to go outside, and for me it was super stressful. So I said, I'm not ready. I'm really feeling bad. So let me die here without any meeting with Gurudeva. So yeah, but somehow she just forced me, and we went to the temple, and Ananda Pradayani from Russia, she just held my hand, and she very fast pushed me to the Gurudev, introduced me, and she says that that I'd like to get initiation, but I'm not ready to do it now. And Gurudeva asked why not now? And I said that I don't know, something in my mind stopped me. He said, okay, no problem. So after he starts his Harikatha in his room, and just in few minutes during the Harikatha, I watched him, I observed, and I look at his eyes, and I really realized that this person is very special. He's super extraordinary, and if I will not ask about initiation now, I don't know when it will happen. So I want to do it. Anyway, I want to do it. So after I asked about it, Gurudeva gave me spiritual name. Gurudeva gave me new malas, japa mala. So by this way, my sadhana life, my sadhana way started. Yes, and about Crocs, also I wanna sharing with you that how to say, how desires came by your heart, like desire to serve your guru. I remember that I came to Sri Raman Vihari Gaudiya Math for it was I don't know when, but it was Bhagavad Saptaha, I think. So I came for Bhagavad Saptaha, and I was planning to stay in the ashram first time in my life. I wanted to stay in the ashram and very closer to Guru. So for me it was wow, such a beautiful experience. So, and I had a plan when Gurudeva will go to sleep. I will just, because I was very shy and I was afraid to do any mistakes, So I was really shy. So I planned that Gurudeva will go to sleep in his room, and I will just come to his door and will take his Crocs and will clean it. I don't know why. It was like first desire about seva, serving to Gurudev. So yeah, I did it, but I remember that I had fever, like very high fever. I got sick very fast, just in the temple. I don't know. yeah, it's purification. Why, I don't know, I know. But yeah, even with that big fever, I felt very bad physically, but I wanted to do it, so I did it, and I was so happy. And still, that tissue which I used, it was maybe 3 years ago, the tissue which I used to clean in Gurudeva's crocs, it's still with me. So very often I just take it to put to my head and just try to purify myself like this. So yeah, and it's not about glorify myself. I want to say this story because, like, how strange sometimes desire can be to serve your guru, but yeah, it was funny. So how much time I have? Ooh la la. How much time I have, Kunjashwari?
You are actually just on time. So, like, few minutes you have if you want to finish the speech.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, one of the miracle what happened between me and Gurudev. I remember I have been in Ukraine that time, and I felt super bad, super scary because of war and because of my depression, like many things, and also I had some problem what made me really very, very, very stressed, and I didn't know, like, I lost my hope, I didn't know what to do, uh, how to decide what to do, how to solve that issues. So, and in the next day, I just received the message from Gurudev, like first message. Before I was writing him on Skype and just complaining how bad is my life, how much I suffering in this body. But that time, first time, and maybe even last, I don't know, but he wrote me himself and he just asked me, how are you? I was completely shocked and surprised and of course very happy. And I wrote him that Gurudeva, like, honestly, like, it's very bad now, like, line of my life is very bad, but when you wrote me, I feel much better, and it's really magic and miracle for me that you wrote. Thank you so much. And yeah, and he said that may Lord Nrsimhadev protect you, and I felt much better. So sometimes, yeah, I'm that person who always needs some proofs by miracles, by magic, unfortunately. And these proofs come to my life, and I'm really very grateful, very thankful for that. And to Krishna, to Gurudev, it's amazing. I have also some few stories, but I'm not sure I can be on time. Yeah. Also, last one, I want to just say that slowly, I really realized what is heart melted, when heart is melted, because Gurudev very often say about it. Yes, you just listen Harikatha, have association, and your heart will melt it. But slowly, but his mercy of devotees, of course, Vaishnavas, I feel what is it? Like super small drop, but my heart become melted, and some anarthas already goes out, even if it's super painful, even if you think that, like, good time will never happen. It happens, and you get this realization just after bad time. But what I want to say, we just have to, of course, I have like thousands and thousands more anarthas, but when you see the process, even if it's super slowly, you really have a hope, and it motivates you to continue to do your sadhana somehow, how you can do. So yeah, never lose your hope. Like one devotee said in Reels, of Gurudeva's groups in Instagram. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, dear Srila Gurudeva, to choose me, to be so merciful to me, and to be always in my heart. Gurudeva always say that we're not alone. I'm always in your heart. And thank you to give me this opportunity to feel it. It's very important. And it gives the reason of this life in this body. Thank you so much. Panchakalpatarupyascha kripasindupyeva cha patitanam pavanavyo vaishnavavyo namo namaha. Srila Gurudeva ki jai.
Jai, thank you, Didi, for sharing so openly. It is amazing to have you. Thank you. We will move on to the next speaker, and it's Madan Mohini Devidasi from New Zealand, and her main service is organizing weekly Bhagavad Gita classes and Kirtan. So, Madan Mohini, whenever you're ready, feel free to unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranams. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksho Amalitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Pada Gaur Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Vana Iti Namane Vandeham Bhakti Shikoram Gauranga Nidya Krishtitam Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Ekanishtitam Rasayana Katamram Sankirtanam Anandadam Goswaminam Vanam Namaham. So Dandavat pranams to Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupad, Shlotra Shlotra Shishima Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, and Param Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Dandavat pranams to the whole Rupanuga Guru Vaga and all Vaishnavas and everybody here. So, and everybody listening, I'm realizing more and more how crucial Vaishnava association is. Yeah, and just every, is it like, just every small feeling of bhakti that I have is coming from this association. it's amazing. So I wanted to just do a little bit of reading from this book here, Vyasa Puja. And then I'll also do some talking and reflecting on my own life. Just forgive me, I'm not so good at speaking yet. I pray that one day I can be able to do this with more confidence and more flow. So this is Vyasa Puja. This is a book that was our Gurudev actually wrote this from lectures of his Gurudev, Param Gurudev Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'll just read a small part. If one wants to advance in spiritual life, it is necessary to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. All the Vedic scriptures explain that without spirituality, human life is useless. Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating are activities common to both human beings and animals. This is why spirituality is so essential in human life. It is said in the ancient scriptures that in this age of Kali, one does not live more than 100 years. So every day we sleep around 12 hours, which means we spend 50 years sleeping. This is half of our lives. More than 10 years pass during our childhood, when we cannot distinguish between right and wrong actions. We only want to play with our little friends. Thus, up to here 60 years have already passed. The scriptures also declare that if one wants to be expert in any subject, it is necessary to study for at least 25 years. That includes school, college, and all kinds of studies in the subjects of law, medicine, and so on. And during the remaining 15 years, we enjoy family life when one has to raise his children, get money, properties, and so on. With all these activities, 100 years have already passed. Did we dedicate even a second to spiritual life? The answer is no. This is how materialistic people spend their lives to satisfy their own desires. Moreover, some of these years are wasted with diseases when we do not have time to make spiritual inquiries and ask ourselves, why have we come to this material world, and where will we go after death? So, yes, just reflecting on my life from my past to now, having taken initiation from Gurudeva, how much in ignorance I was in my life, just engaging in many stupid, nonsense, sinful activities, and so by great fortune, because I was always seeking as well, Krishna has brought Gurudeva into my life, and it's such a fortune that we can have that. And Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, talks about in the West, many Westerners have a poor fund of knowledge. So I can reflect as well that we learn from our friends and learn from people who just don't know about the truth. So this is so important that we can meet a bona fide spiritual master that can actually help us to see, help us to remember Krishna, and to realize how just to remember the importance of spiritual life, to realize that these are the things that I was engaging in my past were actually killing me, and now having Gurudeva in my life, I feel like I can actually, everybody's dying, but now, at least I'm not killing myself. I'm not choosing that. I'm actually choosing to engage in spiritual life, which is real life. There's that theme of forgetting Krishna, in past. And I love when Gurudeva speaks in his Harikatha, and he talks and he sings the bhajans of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and he just the feeling that it brings in the heart. When Gurudeva said in his recent Harikatha that we must actually learn not just sing the bhajans, but actually to know their translation, so that we can feel the mood of these bhajans. And yeah, it's such a beautiful practice to be able to read these translations and to just feel something. And by Gurudev's mercy, we can feel more of these start to feel something of these moods. So I wanted to share, because one particular bhajan of Bhaktivedanta Thakur that Gurudev will often speak in Bhagavat Saptaha on the second day, speaking of the third canto in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's that canto, it talks about the baby in the mother's womb and the pain and the experience of the baby in the womb. And this particular bhajan just really, when I hear it, touches my heart. And so to read this translation. So I'll just read it. Bolia Tamare. O Lord, forgetting you and coming to this material world, I have experienced a host of sins and sorrows. Now I approach your lotus feet and submit my tale of woe. While I was bound up tightly in the unbearable confines of my mother's womb, O Lord, you once revealed yourself before me. After appearing briefly, you abandoned this poor servant of yours. At that moment I thought, after my birth this time I will surely worship you with undivided attention. But alas, after taking birth, I fell into the entangling network of worldly illusions. Thus I possessed not even a drop of knowledge. As a dear son fondled in the laps of attentive relatives, I passed my time smiling and laughing. The affection of my father and mother helped me forget you still more, and I began to think that the material world was a very nice place. Day by day, I gradually grew into a young boy and began playing with other boys. Soon my powers of understanding emerged, so I diligently studied my school lessons every day. Proud of my accomplished education, I later traveled from place to place and earned much wealth, thereby maintaining my family with undivided attention. I forgot you, O Lord Hari. Now, in old age, this Bhaktivedanta very sadly weeps as death approaches. I failed to worship you, O Lord, and instead pass my days in vain. What will be my fate now? Yeah, so this bhajan is so sweet and so heart-touching. And when Gurudev speaks, sings these bhajans of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, so just a beautiful mood, a beautiful feeling. So very grateful for Gurudev to actually be able to touch my heart in some way. And Nayana Mani Manjari is talking about miracles, and Gurudev was saying a devotee once asked him, actually, and I believe that Swami Prabhupada talked about this as well. And it is the real miracle is that these people from the West who are engaged in all these sinful activities, and also I'll just mention that sin, the meaning of sin, which a senior Vaishnava has recently shared with me, is anything that's not moving you towards Krishna. So all these people in the West engaging in these sinful activities, and for us to stop that completely and come to just to do these 4 regulative principles and to chant every day and to engage in this sadhana is such a miracle. And that is the biggest miracle. And Gurudev has spoken about this in his Harikatha. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much time I have left, but
You have like 1-2 minutes. I think we're running
okay.
out. But
Okay. So somebody else, I think Krishna Kripa, who spoke wonderfully, by the way, was mentioning Vyasa Puja is to make, I think it was him that said it, to make Gurudev happy. And so, yeah, I just pray that I can continue to engage in service to Gurudev, that I can have some energy and enthusiasm to continue what I'm doing, and that we can all utilize this beautiful opportunity that we have with Srila Gurudev, to just understand Vyasa Puja more, and to understand, to realize the moods of Gurudev and what is in his heart and what he wants for us. Forgive me if I've made any mistakes or offenses and my shortcomings. Vancha kalpatarvascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Jai Srila Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, thank you so much for sharing. And now would like to invite Haridas Brahmachari from USA to talk and share. Yeah, I see Prabhu, you're here to share your offering with us.
Andabats, thank you so much. Thank you so much for putting this on. Let me first though say, Om Gyana Timurandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shugurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Goda Prishtaya Buddhade Shimate Bhaktivedanta Vana Ittinamine Vandeham Bhaktikodam Guranga Nija Preshtitam Shimate Bhaktivedanta Samivanam Namastubyam Shirada Ekanishtitam Rasayanakitam Natank Sankirtanam Nandam Gosaminam Paranamaha Shamrani Mattaram Bande Agnopi Yadanugrahat Tikarat Bhavasagadacha Labetcha Krishna Premadanam Shri Krishna Rupaya Vadiki Kalabhisheshignaya Namyaham Pujam Shamranim Swaparikaraya. So I offer my dandavats unto Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vanga Samaraj, my initiating spiritual master, and as well unto my Shiksha Guru, Srimad Pujaniya Srimati Shamrani Didi, and to our whole Rupanuga Guru Varga. Thank you so much for organizing this and for inviting me and allowing me the opportunity to speak. I appreciate it. My main seva, as I put into the sheet, is typically is serving Srimati Shamrani Didi's ashram and temple as her secretary in Miami, the secretary of the temple in Miami. So it's nice for me to have the opportunity to remember Srila Gurudev and to keep up with my god brothers and god sisters. And so the verse that comes to mind is the first one we utter, Om Gyana Timurandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shugurave Namaha. And in this verse, the translations, I'm saying that I was born in the darkness of ignorance. And I offer so much gratitude to that Srila Gurudev who opened my eyes. Sometimes it's torchlight is the word that's given, and the word for word, I've read that it's the chakshur, that they're actually using it's referring to a specific tool used to remove cataracts from one's eyes. So the removing the darkness from my eyes so I can actually see clearly. We hear from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada how he says before he came to Krishna consciousness, he was, which of course was just a pastime because he's complete and total pure devotee. He's the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, he was seeing sights of blindness and hearing sounds of deafness. And so similarly, I'm coming to the understanding through Srila Gurudev and through his Pujaniya Srimati Shamrani Didi, who's acting as his representative in this world, that I am only able to operate from that place of blindness. I'm only able to operate from from material conceptions. And thankfully, through their mercy, they're actually able to pull out these things that are literally otherwise impossible. If I had cataracts in my eyes, I couldn't just go and cut open my eye and actually take it out. I would be doomed to blindness. But it is their extreme mercy sitting in that platform. We hear in Bhagavad Gita, in the verse 234, Tadvidi Pratipanena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshayanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. They have seen the truth. They are able to give that truth because they are situated in that truth, because they have seen it, because they are seeing from that place. They're able to then actually guide, at least for me, I can say, like, they can guide within the heart and directly move those things from the heart that are just complete and total obstacles to one's not only spiritual life, but just to life. The other verse that I think of is how I'm so incredibly fortunate. We hear that, I'm going and finding the verses. Sorry, I don't have it completely memorized. So Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lada Bij. We hear that according to our karma, we are completely and totally wandering throughout the universes. Some of them go to the upper planetary systems, others to the lower planetary systems. And out of millions of wandering living entities, one who is fortunate gets the opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. There are billions of people in the world, and there are 25 of us here on Zoom. And for me personally, living in the temple, it seems like everybody's a devotee. Everybody who I know is a devotee. Everybody who comes in, they're interested in Krishna consciousness. But it's still such a small fragment who are even interested, let alone who will sit down and take the time to hear Harikatha, let alone who will then take the time to receive initiation, to then try to serve Srila Gurudev. So I'm so fortunate that I'm able to have this opportunity in this life. It's out of 8.4 million species of life, so much wandering up and down through all different species, back and forth. Because of my own karmic activities, I have this extremely rare opportunity, and I've received this gift from Srila Gurudev, even though I don't even understand the gift. I have no capacity whatsoever to have understood what I was receiving when I received Harinam. I have no capacity to know what I was receiving when I received Diksha, and I still don't have the capacity to know what I was receiving when I received the Brahmacharya Vesh, or any of those things. And yet, mercifully, he gave those things, and then that seed fructifying, that seed growing by being in the association of the devotees, by being around Pure Sadhu, Srimati Shamarani Didi, being able to receive her instruction, receive Srila Gurudev's instruction through her, it allows that seed to sprout and completely clear all misgivings of the heart. So thank you all for putting this together and for welcoming me here and giving me this opportunity to glorify Srila Gurudev. Vanchakalpaturubhyascha kripasindubhyevacha patitnam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing your offering. Dandavat pranams. Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
And now I'd like to invite Anang Moham Prabhu and Yamuna Didi from UK to speak and close this Zoom gathering. So most of us, we know Anang Moham Prabhu and Yamuna Didi. They are disciples of Shishmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and serving our Gurudev, Shishmad Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj, traveling with him everywhere and offering many, many personal services. So I'll just handle the word to them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I asked to unmute yourselves. Are you able to unmute?
Hare Krishna, can you hear
Hare
me?
Krishna. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Kunjeshwari Didi, for inviting us to speak on this platform. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Sharakaya Kshakshu Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gora Prestaya Bhutare Shimate Bhaktivedanta Vama Intina Mine Namo Vishnu Padaya Keshava Prestaya Bhutare Shimate Bhaktivedanta Vamana Itina Mine Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaye Priyatmane Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayanitina Mine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutare Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Sigura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo, Ramo
Rama
Ramo,
Rama
Hare
Hare.
Hare. I would like to offer my most humble obeisances to my Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, as well as to my Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, as well as to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters. So yesterday we celebrated the Vyasa Puja of Srila Gurudev with our French Sangha in French. The first part of the program was in French for them, this opportunity for them to offer their Puspanjali to their Gurudev. And then the second part of the program, we had invited Srila Gurudev to come on the platform and to give some Harikatha, and very kindly he have accepted to come to this platform. And when he came, very kindly, he addressed to his disciple, to all of us, he said, I have come because of your love and affection. And because you are celebrating my happy birthday, so I came for you. So I think it's very important, if you organize any Vyasa Puja of Srila Gurudev, we should definitively invite him to come and to speak. That will be definitively pleasing to him. So very mercifully, he came for 1 full hour, and he gave the most amazing Harikatha. Really the core of his heart. He came to explain everything about Manjari Bhav. Yes, about this goal that we want to attain, with this beautiful verse of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anarpitam Charim Chirat Koruna Vartina Kalo Samarpetum Unato Jvalarasa Svabhakti Shriyam Haripurata Sundara Jyotikadamba Sandipitaha Sadaridoe Kandare Suratuva Sachinandana. So these are very beautiful blessings from Srila Rupa Goswami. And what does it say in this verse? It says, may the son of Srimati Sachidevi Shri Gora Hari forever manifest in the innermost core of your heart. Adorned with the radiant splendor of molten gold, he has descended in this age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow upon the world that which has not been given for a very long time, the beauty of his own brilliantly radiant Ujjvala Prema Rasa Bhakti, the service and the highest mellow of amorous love. This is what our Gurudev have come to give. So he hasn't come to give us a beautiful wife, husband, qualified children, or whatever. Like it is said in this verse of the Shikshastakam, Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitava Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Babatat Bhakti Ahei Tukitvei. O Jagadish, I desire neither wealth nor followers nor the gorgeous promises of the Vedic hymns. My only prayer is that birth after birth I may have causeless devotion. I hate to keep bhakti to you, the Lord of my life. So it brings us to reflect on what is the meaning of Vyasa Puja when we try to celebrate our Gurudev. We know that from the point of view of Tattva, this Vyasa Puja, this represents this Vyasa, this line of Vyasa, that from the center touches all the other lines. And our Gurudev is the full representative of that. Not only he travels all over the world, in every country, he has been traveling to almost more than 100 countries. He goes to every town, every village, every house, and really in every possible heart. He really wants to give. He has this extent of this extreme compassion that he wants to give this mercy to each and everyone. So when we see his level of dedication, having traveled all over the world for 28 years without stopping at any time, at any point, at any moment, even when the time of COVID was there, he was still traveling to Brazil, to Russia, and to India. So it brings us to the reflection of like, how can we ever repay our Gurudev for his sacrifices to us? It seems to be quite impossible, because to repay someone, we need to have something of an equal value. But still, we should try, because how can we please Srila Gurudev? Do we please him if we only say a few nice words on the day of Vyasa Puja? Gurudev is giving his whole life, his whole energy every single day. So in the same way, we should make a celebration of Vyasa Puja every single day. By receiving Harinam and Diksha from Srila Gurudev, we have been admitted in the school of Bhakti, and the goal is very high. This Radha Dasyam is very high, and there is many steps to attain this highest goal. But Srila Gurudev, very mercifully, he has admitted all of us. And it was so beautiful to hear all of your offerings, and to see how the mercy of Srila Gurudev is operating in everybody's life and heart. And all of you are progressing so beautifully. So this is really the mercy of Srila Gurudev. And for us, coming from the generation of Param Gurudev, for you, meaning from the generation of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, it is very pleasing to see that in the same way that Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj has given his mercy all over the world, how Srila Gurudev is the pure representative of this mercy of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And there is some verses that our Gurudev was very was giving much importance, and Gurudev as well is reminding us that if we want to understand what is sadhan bhakti, yes, sadhan bhakti can only be called as such if the goal is to attain bhav bhakti. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana bidha. Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. Sadhan bhakti is the engagement of the mind and senses in the activities of bhakti for the purpose of attaining bhav bhakti. This bhav is a potentiality which eternally exists in the heart of the jiva and is manifest in the heart purified by sadhan, but only by the mercy of a nitya siddha, a Mahabhagavat Guru, who can transmit Shuddha Sattva in the heart of a qualified disciple. So it's very important to understand that if we practice the path of bhakti, our sadhan can only be called such if we practice with the goal of attaining bhav bhakti. And Srila Gurudev is repeating this all the time, over and over again. And I remember Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, when he was establishing during the month of Kartik, we had so many Harikatha with all his sannyas that were present there, and he was giving this kind of subject about the independence of Bhakti, this Svatantra. And he was explaining this point about this verse. He was saying, don't think that to attain Bhakti is the result of your sadhan. It is not. You can practice sadhan for millions of lifetimes. It will not give you bhakti. But by practicing sadhan, it purifies your heart, it shows your sincerity, and then at that point, like it is said here, only by the mercy of a Nitya Siddha, a Mahabhagavat Guru, who can transmit Shuddha Sattva into the heart of a qualified disciple. So we have to remember that this is our goal, even if it seems to be such a high goal. But we will be pleasing to our Gurudev if we understand that what he has come to give, he has not come to satisfy any of our material desires. Often he says, if you have any question, any inquiry, ask question about spiritual life. I am not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. If you have all these needs, you should go to the professionals and get the help that you need. But I will be there to nourish your bhakti. I will be there to nourish you with love and affection. And in this way, you will be able to progress on both sides. And we can see many examples of that. And this is really the mercy of Srila Gurudev. And for us, it's important to understand and to make the distinction. And the other very important shloka that is related to this one that Gurudev often expressed, because like I said, for us who have come in this generation of Srila Bhaktivedanta and Goswami Maharaj, and he have very clearly explained that the eternal identity of the jiva is fixed in the heart and it cannot be changed by any kind of association. He was saying Krishna Prem is a potentiality in the heart that can be awakened only by the mercy of a Nitya Siddha Guru. And you have heard him saying this verse so many times. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunoi. Shranavadi Shuddha Chitte Koroya Udoy. Krishna Prem is a potentiality which eternally exists in the heart of the living entity. It is not brought about by sadhana. It manifests itself by the mercy of a Nitya Siddha Guru in the heart purified by sadhana and the performance of the various limbs of bhakti such as Shravan and Kirtan. So these are all very important points for us to understand and to take in our heart. Yes? So how can we serve Srila Gurudev? And many of you before me have made this point very important. There's these two aspects of the service to Srila Gurudev, yes? There is Vapu Seva and Vani Seva. So Vapu Seva, as you all know, is to serve the form of Shri Guru, to serve him personally by cooking, washing his clothes, massaging him, if you are fortunate. And these services are essential or important. Gurudev also said, don't think it is not necessary. My Gurudev is not hungry. My Gurudev doesn't need anything. They are very important. But more important to that is Vani Seva. How can we broadcast all over the world the preaching, the Harikatha of Srila Gurudev? So it's a point that's very interesting because yesterday we had one of our guests on the French platform. His name is Sadananda Prabhu, and he was explaining that in our Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Sangha, he's engaged in this seva of restoring the audio file of the Harikatha of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. So our Gurudev, he has been preaching all over the world for 14 years. And he was giving Harikatha every day, but not to such an intensity that Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj is giving. And he is traveling now for 28 years all over the world. So for many years, now for 15 years, they are restoring those audio files and they have restored thousands of Harikatha, but still there is more to do. And it's packed with so much treasure, with all the tattva, rasa tattva, with everything we can imagine. And he was saying, Sadananda Prabhu, sometimes it has been recording when Gurudev was speaking just to a few intimate people around him. So it's very like a secret of the bhajan that is revealed to that. So we can imagine that my call to all of you really today is that our Gurudev is speaking so much. There is an absolute need to increase the team of those who transcribe his lecture, because there is like a monumental seva work to do there. I remember at the time of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, a disciple, they were traveling with him. He had an old team traveling with him, and they were producing lectures very quickly, very regularly, almost daily. They were producing the lecture of Srila Gurudev. So there's so many qualified disciples of Srila Gurudev, speaking English, and who can contribute more and more in transcribing the lecture of Srila Gurudev. So while traveling with Srila Gurudev, he is giving so much, and we go from one country to another country. I think something that would be very nice and powerful is in each country where Srila Gurudev goes, this Harikatha that he has been given there, if this could be transcribed by those devotees of those countries and being distributed, why not it can even be printed in the form of a booklet that can be engaged for book distribution. Because I think if we really want to please Srila Gurudev, we can understand that he really, of course, when we develop our own sadhana and bhajan, we chant, we listen, we try to imbibe the philosophy. This is for us, really. This is for our progress. But what do we do to reciprocate with Srila Gurudev, with his preaching effort? He wants to give this mercy to each and every individual, if possible. So if we just share in a simple way with whoever we meet, on our days, whatever our activities, and try to connect them with this path of bhakti. This will definitively be pleasing Srila Gurudev. If we develop more preaching centers in each and every country for Srila Gurudev, we have heard Premananda Prabhu, who gave such a beautiful Harikatha as well, and was really so engaged, even though that he started with, would say, nothing. But because it was Srila Gurudev's instruction and his desire to surrender, such beautiful situation is taking place where he's engaged for quite a long time now, and hopefully he will be able to develop his preaching and go to Barcelona at his Gurudev's desire as well. And we have seen Krishna Priya Didi, who also very like sincerely with her heart, she just had this desire to fulfill Gurudev's desire. And she has started a preaching center in Seattle that is going on for quite a long time now.
With the help of the brahmacharis.
So sometimes it may not be possible to have a preaching center as such, but each of us, we should have this this desire to have regular meetings, and that's very important as well, because I remember how Srila Gurudev, he was giving very important advices, and our experience traveling from country to country, we can see sometimes even a temple is there, beautiful temple, big deities, everything is there, but so much conflict in this place, that place. So when Gurudev comes, everybody comes a bit together, but when he goes, maybe the same takes place. So that's a very important focus as well in our spiritual practice, to understand that in the same way that we have been born in different families with brothers and sisters, maybe we would not have chosen them as our friends if they would not be our family members. But because we were born from the same parents, we have learned to tolerate each other and to accommodate. So in the same way, Gurudev is welcoming all of us. We are all his children. Yes. So we have to understand that we have, in order to please Srila Gurudev, not being in this mood of like, I like this person, I don't like this person, and getting in all this kind of consideration that is a bit on the level of sense gratification. But Gurudev was giving very beautiful advice, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, about how can we associate in the proper way. He was saying we should try to understand the suffering of another person. We should try to keep our own mood concealed and try to accept and hear the other person's mood. We should try to understand the happiness and distress of another. We should give up our own moods and hear the other person's mood. Then together we can consider what to do. If we do not hear the other person's mood, but rather keep our own mood prominent, this is not called association. So he was very broad-minded, Gurudev, and he have accepted, because he could see that at the time of his preaching, when we are all with him, that those same issues were there as well. The difficulty maybe to do seva together or to associate. And Srila Gurudev, he was never for a body that would be all controlling and controlling the whole world, etc. He was very much encouraging personal initiatives as well. So I remember being with Srila Gurudev Narayan Goswami Maharaj in 2007 in Navadvip. We had a big, after the parikram, we had a communication course there with a very famous facilitator. And it was quite amazing, because Gurudev was first saying, why do you need all of that? I am here. Why don't you come to me? And then his disciples said, oh, we don't want to bother you. Then he said, I am already bothered anyway, so why don't you come to me? So he was very open-minded and generous in the way that, okay, if this is what they need, why not? And something that he said that really touched my heart at the middle of this 3 days that we had of a communication course, he said something very powerful. He was saying, don't fear. To all the devotees, I think you should all tell your ideas openly and bravely. Don't fear from anyone. You all have a right to express your ideas. Don't think, oh, only they are controlling. So this is things that we have seen over and over again. It is very dangerous if in any sangha somebody thinks, only I know, I should be in charge of everything, and anybody who is against me should have no right. Please don't think like that. Be always, feel encouraged to have programs in your home, to share the knowledge that our Gurudev has given. And in this way, I think our spiritual master have given us very important advices that may help us to try to grow with this spirit of harmony. And I am very attached to this booklet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, because there's so many good advices if we want to develop Sangha, if you want to work in harmony. Yes, it is available maybe as ebook on purebhakti.com.
You can ask us, we can
But
send you.
we have many copies in our own home. So Srila Gurudev is very kind and very merciful. And he have expressed more and more his desire for his preaching to increase, for preaching center to manifest. And if we can remember also how to work in harmony with each other, yes, if we can look after each other with love and affection, this certainly will please Srila Gurudev. And in this way, we can be in the same spirit that he is, because you can believe us, he travels all over the world in all kinds of challenging situations, but he's so humble, he's so tolerant, that just observing him, there is so much to learn. He's completely engaged, fully engaged and sacrificing everything to satisfy his spiritual master. And we can understand this also, what is the difference between a volunteer and a sevak, isn't it? The volunteer, he does some seva when he feels like, when he has time, maybe. But the sevak is completely committed. And Srila Gurudev gives this quote of Srila Sridhar Maharaj with the spirit of do or die. And this is a characteristic of surrender to our spiritual master. And this is how we can understand how we can be pleasing Srila Gurudev. So maybe I've been speaking for too long already. So I will just conclude. It's my usual prayer in the conclusion of whatever I say. Please forgive me as I say anything that was not correct, and all glories to our Srila Gurudev. But one prayer that we have received as well from Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and that I carry everywhere with me, is Tvam Gopika Varishara Vesatayanti Kesi Sevadikarini Guru Nija Pada Padne Dasyam Pradaya Kurumam Braja Kananeshri Radangri Sevana Rase Sukidim Sukabdao. Oh Gurudev, we are immersed in an ocean of bliss, and you can award transcendental service. We are the beloved Gopika of Srimati Radhika. Please bestow on me the shelter of your lotus feet, so that I can be blissfully engaged in the transcendental realm of service of the Queen of Raj, Srimati Radhika. This is what our Gurudev and our Guru Varga have come to give. If we can offer this prayer every single day, everything will fall into place, everything will become perfect, and we will attain this beautiful goal that has been promised and is guaranteed 100% by our Guru Varga. Thank you so much, my dear brothers and sisters. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And I will invite my dear husband, Ananga Mohan Prabhu, that I should not tell his name, Prabhuji, to express itself.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat pranams. All glories to Shri Guru and Garanga. Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Prihatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Tinamine. Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Prihatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Tinamine. I'd like to offer my unlimited Dhamma pranams to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and simultaneously to Srila Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj, who is in spirit present here with us today, because we're speaking about him and glorifying him in line with our Guru Parampara. And so many people have said so many wonderful things about him, and continuing to glorify him as disciples, and will continue to do so tomorrow as well. The Indian devotees have been glorifying him every day in sequence for the last 10 days. For 1 or 2 hours in the day, 4 or 5 speakers are speaking every day, and they will continue for some more days still. So this is showing how different sanghas in different parts of the world want to offer something to their Gurudev. So on the auspicious occasion coming up of his appearance day, I would like to offer Pushpanjali, which means something from our heart, to his lotus feet, to show our gratitude for what he has done for us. And I was thinking, who Gurudev is as a question to try and understand him better. Of course, in our scriptures, they say he's not an ordinary person. He's from the spiritual world, and the prayers that we sing, Sansara Dhawana, Navalnida Loka, he's the embodiment of the mercy of Krishna, and he does so many things in the spiritual world, but he's there as well as being here at the same time. So this person is not ordinary, and how he comes into our lives is also not ordinary, as you've also, some of you, described individually. And this is his glory. So we're very fortunate to be here in his association and trying to serve under him and his guidance in the Guru Parampara, of course, because he's the perfect representative of our Guru Parampara. So I was thinking with this question, who is Gurudev? Is he his name? Is he his body? Is it that he is so tall or so short? Is he his weight? Does his clothes tell us who he is? Is he his shoes? Is the color of his eyes? If we try to recognize somebody, we're trying to use these categories to identify a person. So how do we recognize him? What makes him what he is? This is a question I ask myself. So what makes him what he is? What makes him special? What makes him, what makes someone who they are? Is it his history, his past, or what he's trying to do now? Spiritually and materially, these things are not compatible. So we cannot apply his physical appearance to his spirituality. Although when it comes to Sri Guru, his physical being, his physical presence, his physical body, his paraphernalia is considered to be non-different to himself as the paraphernalia of Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is non-different from him. It's an expansion of Baladev Prabhu, as we know, and hence we call Sri Guru Nityananda Prabhu, the expansion of this mercy. So this apparent contradiction is there between what we see with our eyes, hear with our ears, and touch with our hands, is transcendental and spiritual, but it is in the physical sense. Just like the mantra that we chant, the Hare Krishna mantra. We cannot chant it with our material tongue. We cannot appreciate it, its spiritual qualities, because it said Nama Chintamani Krishna Rasa Vigraha. It's non-different, Krishna's name to himself. Similarly, the body of Sri Guru and his paraphernalia is non-different from him. So we have to respect, and sometimes, and we have to respect Sri Guru's paraphernalia as good as he is, or even sometimes more, as we've heard from Srila Gurudev explain. So I made a list of things that he likes and things that he doesn't like. So I'd like to share that with you. And perhaps you can add to that list in your own way of things that you know that he likes and things that you know that he doesn't like. And it would be very interesting to share that with yourselves or with me. I would certainly like to know about things that he doesn't like, so I know that I can avoid those things in my life in relating with him personally. So I and another one shloka they wanted to share with you was from the Bhagavad Gita with regards to this, is what Arjun asks Krishna in the second chapter, verse 54. Stita pragyan ka bhasha samadhi tasya keshava stita kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. So Arjun asks Krishna, O Keshava, what are the symptoms of a person whose intelligence is fixed in samadhi? How does he speak? How does he sit? And how does he walk? You can look up this verse and see the commentary of that verse. I've been looking at Bhagavad Gita for a few weeks now, since the Bhagavad Jayanti. Srila Gurudeva inspired us to look into the Gita, and he said we should have each of us have a copy with us. We should travel with a copy along with Ganga Jal and Tulsi, even if it's dry Tulsi. So we should keep these three things with us wherever we go. So this is something he likes. I know he likes pink, he likes light colors, he likes saffron. And on this color spectrum, he doesn't like black. I know he doesn't like us to wear black. And he doesn't like red cloth, especially red in food. So, as we all know, he doesn't like chilies of any kind, green, red, powder, or any heavy masala in his cooking. And he doesn't like ice cream. And he doesn't take pasta and pizza. So, that's a difficult one. He doesn't like sweet potatoes. He doesn't like melon. And he doesn't like anything sour, like lemon. So what he does like, on the other side, are mangoes, anything that's sweet. So this aspect of tasting what we've cooked for him before we offer it is very important. It's not that we're relishing it ourselves, but we're tasting it for his pleasure. So in our practical devotional lives, we shouldn't be hesitant to taste what we're cooking for Krishna, cooking for Gurudev. So he likes gentlemen to wear dhotis and ladies to wear saris. He doesn't like talking during the morning walks. Right? This is quite an important point. I know we all do it. I do it sometimes just to catch up with devotees, and it's the only time you get to talk to them. So because the programs are so intensive. He likes us to take notes during his class, and he likes us to follow his instructions, not namache. Like, Gurudev, I'm chanting, so I cannot do this service. And when he says, get me a glass of water, it means you have to stand up and get him a glass of water, and you have to know what type of water he likes. Of course, he likes warm, bottled water. He doesn't drink tap water unless it's boiled, and it's important to do that. He likes us and expects us to follow his instructions, like we said. He likes us to learn the shlokas, and he likes us to learn the kirtans. And like Mother Mohini Didi said, he likes us to learn the meaning of a kirtans. Very important to get into the mood of the kirtan. Yeah, he likes us to come to Mangala Arati and be on time. And on the other side, he doesn't like to be late, as you know, especially if he's going to catch a flight or a train or something. He doesn't want to miss that connection. So he likes us, as Jumana mentioned, this Vani Seva is very important to him. So he likes us to transcribe his classes wherever and whenever we can. Right? So he likes us to get his blessings before we start a particular project. If we're going to do something, especially if we're not sure about it, if we're not confident in ourselves that he's going to like this, we need to get his permission, we need to get his blessings, we need to get that project sanctioned. So we shouldn't do something whimsically. Always try and communicate with him, ask him, and then do what you're going to do. It may be that he doesn't always reply, and sometimes an indication of something he's not willing to bless is that he doesn't reply. So we have to wait, or either wait until we see him and get his permission that way. So I know one thing he doesn't like is that turning his lights out in his room. If you're the last one to leave his room, he doesn't like his lights to be turned down. If he's fallen asleep, better to leave the lights on because he gets up in the night and then he settles down himself before he goes to sleep. So he doesn't like mobile phones, especially during class or whilst chanting. While chanting should be focused, and we should be careful of the 10 offenses of chanting. Inattentive chanting is an offense, so we shouldn't do it. Try and keep off your phone while you're chanting. Give that quality time to your chanting. I know this personally because even while chanting, if I'm trying to write some notes or even making some notes about a verse, then he says you're not chanting, you're not focusing on the mantra. So this is important. Of course, he doesn't like to hear criticism, or he doesn't like to hear complaining, but sometimes that's necessary if we're sharing our difficulties with devotees, with each other. Sometimes we have to open our heart to him. But I think he understands that. A criticism is not something that is not true. So if it's true, it's not a criticism, if it's a fact. So we have to make this distinction of what is acceptable and is not acceptable. So like this, there are so many things. Please share them with us and share them with me, because I like to make notes of them, and we're compiling things about Srila Gurudev that we write it down. Yes, please. Shrimana is suggesting, reminding me that we should write our offerings as well, because we're collecting those. Although at the moment Gurudev doesn't like his offerings to be published, but as you know, as we've experienced in life, that devotees come and go. One day we may not be here, and those offerings that you've made in the present time will need to be, it would be good to keep them for the future. I'm remembering Jai Govinda Prabhu very unexpectedly leaving his body like this. So it could happen to any of us. Life is unpredictable, temporary, as you know. So if we can write it down and share it with others, one day we can keep it as Gurudev's legacy and his history, and a memory for others of how Gurudev affected our life, contributed to our life. So we have Gurudev's new Upakhyan Upadeshamrita, the second edition. If you want a copy, I think there's some copies in Holland you can get, or from ourselves. Please be in touch. That's the second edition. If you don't have the first one, because there are new devotees coming, regularly coming to Gurudev and taking shelter, then you can also, we have a few copies of the first edition still available. The latest book that Gurudev produced, it's I think the 7th in his title of books, is Sapta Sindhu Gunabhati Shirada. If you don't have a copy of that, or if you want a copy of the other books, please be in touch. We can post them to you. And happy Vyasa Puja, and thank you for allowing me to speak and share these few points, what was on my mind. Many of the things I wanted to talk about, some of his miracles that I've been hearing devotees share. One miracle is that we're still here on this platform, and we are still here with Srila Gurudev, because many people are not. They come forward, but somehow they disappear, or we lose them somewhere. And the miracle is that we're still here. So we're grateful and thankful for that. And carry on practicing your bhakti the best way that you can, the best way that you know, under the guidance of Gurudev. Always anugatya, which is very important. So vanchakalpatarvyascha kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you to Kunjeshwari for arranging the Zoom, and Damodar Prabhu for sharing his connection. We hope to see you tomorrow as well, and invite others to join.
Just a last question to Kunjeshwari Didi. We haven't seen you on the list of guests offering their Vyasa Puja, so we kindly invite you to add yourself on the list and to put a slot for yourself tomorrow to offer your Puspanjali to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vanchakalpatarvyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Anang Mohan Prabhu.
Haribo.
Actually, I was seeing like if we fill the list, then I thought I will not speak. But actually, it turned out that tomorrow there is a spot free, so I already put my name there. I'll take the chance to. So thank you very much.
All right.
And tomorrow we also have a Zoom meeting, same time. Different speakers, of course. So links are shared in the WhatsApp group of Van Madhuriam, and also all information is shared in our WhatsApp group. So if you are not yet in WhatsApp group of Srila Gurudev Zoom Glorification and you'd like to join, just drop me a message and I will add you to the group. And thank you everyone for coming today, for your beautiful offerings. And today is actually Akadashi in most countries, here at least in Europe. So that's extremely auspicious day to do glorification as well. Thank you very much. And see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol. Don't forget to send your offerings and any more ideas of likes and dislikes. Haribol.
Okay, I'll end the meeting now. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you.